يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
Are you prepared for Ramadan? From the archive of your Muslimah charity presents The Awakening Ramadan, featuring 7 Muslimah-centric panel sessions with over 20 esteemed speakers of your choice. You nominated them. We did the handwork to get them for you. This year shall also feature heartwarming keynote speeches from Dr. Yudis Haifa, founder, Janal Institute, 5 p.m. Friday, 2nd April 2021. Dr. Hannah Gamal, founder, Quran Quest Institute, 9:30 p.m. Saturday, 3rd April 2021. Ustada Aisha Prime, founder, Baraka Inn, 7:45 p.m. Friday, 2nd April 2021. Plus interactive women fix session by Ustaza Fatima, Aye Bajeje, and Dr. Tawakat Dabiri. Hot debate discussions, interviews, and more. What are you waiting for? Share the message, share the reward. See Bounty social handles, posters, and newspapers for details.
وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everybody. My name is Bukola Shukroh Azeez. I am a nurse practitioner here at MD Edison Cancer Center. Welcome to the health panel. With me in this panel, I have Dr. Hafsah Ameen-Ikoyi. She's a certified health coach and Slim Fit U, and she's a pharmacist at National Orthopedic Hospital. I have Sister Bola Ajibola. She's a strategic wellness practitioner founder at Elnamog. Sister Bola, are you here? Welcome. And I have Dr. Fatimat Rabiu. She's an OBGYN consultant at Shifa Medical Center. So join me in welcoming my panel. And today we are going to be talking about the health and the wellness aspect of getting ready for Ramadan. We've heard so many panels and so many talks about the spiritual aspect of getting ready for Ramadan, but we are going to be focusing on the physical aspect of it. I feel for us as Muslims, Ramadan is a time for us to all reset in every aspect of our life. So our mental, our physical, our spiritual aspect. So as we're getting ready spiritually for Ramadan, it's very important for us to also be getting ready physically for Ramadan. The reason is because a lot of things that we do in Ramadan can be physically challenging for us if we're not fully prepared for it. They've said that the Sahabas would get ready for Ramadan 6 months before Ramadan even hits. And we as Muslims, and us also, especially as Muslims, Muslim women, I think it's very important for us to also focus on the physical aspect. And that's why we're having this discussion. Hopefully, we'll be able to learn 1 or 2 things about how we can physically prepare and hopefully stay healthy during Ramadan. So we'll go ahead with the questions. Assalamu alaikum, my sisters. Trust you're keeping safe and staying safe. How is Ramadan preparation for you in your home? And I'll have Sister Hafsah, go ahead, you first. Tell us how you're preparing for Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm glad to be here. Oh, well, we're preparing for Ramadan. We're getting ready spiritually. You know, I have increased the number of my nawafils. I've increased my recitation of the Holy Quran, you know, just to get ready. And of course, we're trying to get the house stuff. As a woman, you know, you're the one in the forefront, trying to make sure everything is set. Alhamdulillah.
Awesome.
Thank
you.
See Ramadan.
Amen. Sister Bola Ajibola, tell us how you get ready for Ramadan in your home.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I think I was sharing early that I'm about to just take a little vacation away from the group of men so I can be a little bit more spiritually connected. Definitely the workout has been part of my spiritual get well, you know, get ready kind of thing. So really getting more physically fit since I may not be able to work out as much. Yeah. So between that and my usual, nothing too much as far as I'm concerned, but really more on the spiritual end is what I'm working on.
That's awesome. Dr. Rabiu, how about you? How are you getting ready for Ramadan? How are you preparing at home?
Thank you. How is everybody doing? I pray Allah preserves us upon goodness. To me, Ramadan is usually the same. except the struggle in attaining more spirituality. My kind of work is irrespective of what season you are, whether you're in winter, you're in summer, you're in Ramadan, you are in Lent, and whatever. My job still remains there. Nobody will do it for me. So the aspect that I usually concentrate on is how can I attain more spirituality, and of course, getting the answers to your prayers and not missing Lailatul Qadr. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. I always feel like Ramadan is also a good time to reset, because a lot of times we can modify our schedules a little bit to be able to say, oh, I want to be home for Sahur, I want to be home for Iftar. For some of us, it doesn't happen it's not possible for all of us. But for the busy ones among us, how can we, make sure that Ramadan helps our schedule, and the fact that, we might make some changes in our schedule. So tell us, go ahead, Dr. Fatima, I'll have you go first. So tell me, how does Ramadan affect you? How you work, what you do, how do you prepare for that to make those changes relating to your work?
Okay, thank you. Actually, the line of work I do a lot of surgeries. And usually, even the non-Muslims will say, wow, the diary should not be so heavy. Let us reduce. If we were going to do 10 surgeries before in a day, maybe 10 major surgeries, they will implore the people booking to reduce it to like maybe 5 major surgeries and maybe 5 minor surgeries. But in actual fact, it doesn't still affect the call duty.
Yes.
We know my salary is still intact. My Zaur is still intact. However, like I said, there are some professions that you are not going to say somebody is a woman or somebody is a man. Usually, you want to be like, oh, the family is there, your husband is there, the children are there, you need to take care of their Zaur and their Iftar. So we just go back and we are like, okay, how have we been surviving in the other days? How have we been doing our breakfast? How have we been doing a lunch for those that take their lunch every time? And how have we been doing our dinner? So it's for you to have a schedule that works for you. So it's more of an individualized thing. Okay, what can you do on Monday to Wednesday? How can you adjust it on Thursday to Friday? Then, of course, those are general things. You want to optimize yourself in the home, you want to optimize yourself at work, and you want to still optimize your personal self. We used to have a race. So during our undergraduate days, we want to make sure we finish the Quran. How many of us finish the whole Quran now? So I think it's just a restructuring in our brains, in our body, and our environment at large.
Thank you so much. Very interesting. Sister Bola Ajibola, over to you. Tell me how you're making these changes. How does Ramadan affect your work? What changes are you making to your work?
I'll tap into the restructuring aspect, which I've already started making plans, either in the work schedule. For my schedule, is a little bit more flexibility as to what and how I can. And some days you really couldn't. But this year, I've made the conscious effort of that restructuring of schedule, the time and the place to be able to get me ready. On the food aspect, like I said, it's not too much of a struggle for me because it's the same routine. So that makes it a little bit less hectic. But definitely restructuring of the work, the work life, or, some of the physical activities or things that I need to do, how I need to take my seminars, if I'm doing any workshops or anything, what and which days they'll fall onto. So definitely I've done that.
Awesome. Sister Hafsah, over to you. Tell us how you're making some changes and how Ramadan is going to affect those changes.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So I would also say that majorly is all about restructuring, because for Ramadan, you want to optimize the rewards of the month. It's just a month that comes once in a year, and you want to ensure that you have all the benefits you can get in it. So for me, the work is not different. They're not going to make you work differently, because it's a public service. You have Muslims, you have Christians and all. So your work is your work. You do your work. But in Ramadan, what I try to do is minimize other aspects that I have control over. Like, social media. As much as possible, I try to move away. There were times when, okay, maybe during the times of no Slim Fit You, prior to when I started Slim Fit You, I used to go off social media completely in Ramadan. But now it's not possible for me. But what I do is for Slim Fit You, I have control over it. So I try to avoid any group coaching, group anything in Ramadan. I don't structure it in Ramadan, but I still have my individual one-on-one clients that I deal with. But for work, there's nothing I can do about that. I have to do my work when I'm at work. But when I'm at home, then I try to minimize every other aspect that I have control
Thank you
over.
so much, Sister Hafsah, for also mentioning the aspect of being on social media. For some of us, where our work has to do with going to social media, the challenge could be, how are you able to just focus on what you have to do and not get distracted? Because you can easily get distracted being on social media. Look at all the things before you know you spend 2 hours on social media. So inshallah, the goal is if you have to be on social media, maybe you have to unfollow some people. Maybe this is a time for you to clean out the followers and who you're following, maybe to have that time. The goal is preparing. You cannot wait till the first day of Ramadan to say, okay, this is when I'm going to make these changes. You have to start making those changes now. For some of us, you should be making those changes 3 months towards that. So this is the time to start thinking, okay, I need to start looking, I need to start cleaning up stuff, tidying up my stuff, making sure that I have all this stuff set for Ramadan day 1 to go. So my next question is going to talk about the nutrition. What are we supposed to eat? What is the best tips that you can give us for a productive Ramadan? What's the ideal foods we can eat for breakfast, for our sahur, for our iftar? Sister Hafsah, go ahead. That's going to be you.
Okay, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. For Ramadan, it shouldn't be something different from our everyday lives. We should have our meals as simple as possible. Unfortunately, what we see people do is having a feast in Ramadan, which shouldn't be. Ramadan is the best time to actually, practice having healthy habits, because Ramadan has to do with self-control, self-restraint, self-discipline, so you should be disciplined as much as you can. Once you can achieve this in Ramadan, then it is easy for you to go ahead and do that every other time in your life. So it should be as much as possible. We should have foods that have fiber containing meals that digest slowly and keeps you full for the long hours of Ramadan. When we're talking about fiber content, you're talking about foods that have complex carbohydrates, fruits, vegetables, oats, wheat, things like what's it called? A brown rice, or fada rice. Now I'm talking about people in Nigeria, of course. I'm sure Sister Bola Ajibola and Sister Shukroh would talk about all the things that people can get over there. But right here, oat is available, wheat is available. We have fada rice that people can take. And of course, you can take your smoothies. You can take smoothies, your fruits, blend them into smoothies, into juices, and you're good to go. It shouldn't be something different from the regular meals that we have on a regular
Thank you so
day.
much, Sister Hafsah. Sister Bola, what else can you add to us? What else can we do? What else can we eat to help this Ramadan healthier for us in hopefully having a balance?
The wholesome meal, definitely, and like Ellie said, there should be our basic food should still be our basic food. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we know that Ramadan is coming. It's not a new thing for us as Muslim, that this will come to be. It's structured within the calendar year. So really trying to change your eating habits will just definitely mean for me or for some of the folks that eat heavily on fat, this may be the time you want to cut back so you can get some energy into your day. For those of the people, some of the things that we do see is that some people are not early eaters, especially those of us that are a little bit more in the Western world, where, so we might be coming in like 4:30 a.m. And if you cannot eat, my recommendation for you then, either a piece of fruits, making some smoothies like Elliot suggested, preparing your meals ahead of time. make it a high fiber content and hydrated food, because you're going to need the spread of the day to stay hydrated. So if you're doing the smoothies, it should be something that is really water rich at that point. And then you move on through the day to help you sustain yourself. So I'm going to continue to emphasize having it is required that you have something to eat for sure. So really, even ogi baba, and the likes of things like that, or the oat, is definitely another thing you can quickly add with some protein sauce, which will stretch your day.
Thank you so much, Sister Bola. What I'm hearing from both of you is quality instead of quantity is what we should focus on when it comes to Ramadan. So the quality of your carbs, the quality of your protein is very important to sustain you throughout the day. Thank you so much for that. I'll go to Sister Fatimat Rabiu. When it comes to your background with pregnant women and doing fast or breastfeeding women, what tips do you have for these women when it comes to the quality of the diet they need to be eating to sustain themselves in Ramadan if they're going to be fasting?
Okay, thank you. Usually, we know our basic diet is meant to have carbohydrates, protein, fat, and oils. Now, the carbohydrate is supposed to be in 30%, the fat and oil also 30%, the protein also 30%. The remaining 10% is for other things, multivitamins, roughages, water, and what have you. Now, as per pregnant women concerning fasting, some will say they are not strong enough. Some will say, yes, they are strong enough. Some will say in the first 3 months, which is the first trimester, they can handle it. While some will say, no, in the last trimester, the last 3 months, they can't handle it. Basically, your diet should still be what it is. In fact, it will be very wrong for you to say, wow, if I was taking 2 bowls of eba before, during Ramadan, let me take 5. You are actually going to enjoy yourself. So if your home body is the type that you can actually withstand the fasting of Ramadan, because you have an alternative, which we all know, if you are going to fast, then you have to make sure you do what suits you. You do what you can handle. Your normal zawu liking to be what you take normally in breakfast. If you now want to add some little things, but not everything at all. The same thing for iftar. You are not going to eat so heavily. Now, for the first trimester, some prefer it that nothing, they are still strong as if they are not pregnant. Well, that time is the time some of them will be vomiting and they might not even be able to stand any form of diet, not to talk of reducing. So it's an individualized thing. That's just the summary of that.
Thank you so much, Sister Fatima. As talking about individualism. Thank you. My tongue's tied. So basically what I'm getting from you is talk to your doctor. If you're pregnant, have this conversation with your doctor way before Ramadan. So you're prepared and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. If it doesn't work, this is my plan A, this is my plan B, this is my plan C. Just having that conversation, having that open conversation with your dietitian, if you have one, and letting them know that this is what I'm going to be doing. This is how much you're going to be fasting. What can I do to make those changes? It's very important for people that are pregnant or breastfeeding to be having those conversations with their OBGYN and getting that preparation to see. And another thing I want to say for our pregnant women is, wallahi, Allah has made Islam so easy for us, wallahi. If you can't handle it, you don't have to fast. Break it. You can always, there's alternative Allah has provided for us. Give it a shot. If it works for you, good. If it doesn't work for you, there's no compulsion. You can always, do something. Going to my next question. My next question is hydration. Hydration, hydration, hydration. I know you experts in the room always talk about how we need to be hydrated even before Ramadan. Can you please help us understand how much do we need to be drinking? What do we need to be drinking to stay hydrated? I mean, for us in this coast, Ramadan is going to be in the summer. In Nigeria, it's going to be in summer. It's very hot. We're 90s, 100 degrees. How do we stay hydrated? How do we stay, on top of our shape without not feeling like we're at 5 o'clock, we're like, can't make it throughout the day? So go ahead, Sister Hafsah. Let us know. What do you say about hydrations, avoiding dehydration throughout Ramadan? What can we do?
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, for Ramadan, a lot of people want to stay awake for Qiyamul Layl. So you find them taking things like coffee or caffeinated drinks. So the best thing you can do for yourself in Ramadan is to avoid caffeine, because caffeine stimulates water loss, is a dehydrator. So as much as possible, we should avoid caffeine. Then of course, soda drinks. We should avoid, take lots and lots of water, especially within the non-fasting period between iftar and sahur. We should take enough water. And also, even in sahur, before we take our sahur, we should take water. Immediately we break our fast, we should take water. Of course, we're taking dates, which is sunnah. After taking our dates, we should take water and not a bottle of soda, because people are usually attracted to that very chilled bottle of soda. We should avoid this. It's not going to be good for us. And of course, when we take fruits such as banana, it also helps because of the potassium content and other things that have potassium, like nuts, like milk. We can also take this. It helps, especially at sahur. It helps to, rehydrate you and prevent dehydration.
Thank you so much, Sister Hafsah. Sister Bola, please let us know what else can we do in this part of the world. What else can we do generally to avoid dehydration during Ramadan?
Generally, here or elsewhere, we recommend drinking 8 ounces of water. And again, as Ellie said, between Sur and iftar and Sur the next day. Definitely waking up. If you start now, we still have a few more weeks or a few more days before Ramadan starts to practice the habit of water intake. I always recommend when you wake up to try and drink at least 2 glasses of water. I think in Nigeria, in the metrics sector is 2 liters. Really, dehydration is what I focus on, because when it's summer, even in Nigeria and Africa, it is humid. In a humid environment, you need to drink a little bit more water. So if you're drinking, I don't need to repeat that, the caffeine and caffeinated drinks or sugary things like your juice, even your juice, you need to limit that, because the sugar content is really, you're breeding the bacteria. You're going to be, it's not going to help you because it's not fiber dense enough. So you want to really gravitate towards water. If you cannot handle water alone, you can spike it up with some lemon or lime in the water to help you kind of get it down. But again, the purpose of that water is like if you're eating fiber and you're not drinking enough water, you're not going to be able to digest your food properly. So even though we're recommending that you take a high fiber content, that water is what is going to make it effective and for you to see the effect of that fiber you're eating, because it will fill you up and help you stretch your day. So keep in mind the importance of water. It's going to hydrate you. It's going to help you balance if you have like chronic condition, those with blood pressure. It's going to minimize your headaches if that's what you're more concerned about as well. But it also help you. The issue of the banana that was mentioned, that helps you with with your heart function, with your muscle function as well. So you need to make sure you have some of those potassium-rich food in your meal plan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Bola. So I keep hearing the fact that water is more important than any other drinks. We should stay hydrated, making sure we're drinking about 1 to 2 liters of water throughout the day, and hopefully. So tell me, Dr. Fatimat Rabiu, to my pregnant and my breastfeeding women, what do we need to do differently? Are we still supposed to stick to this? Is there something else we need to be doing different to stay hydrated during Ramadan?
Yeah, thank you. For breastfeeding women, they lose a lot of fluid from the breast milk to the baby. So even if the normal, usually we say the normal water, what would I call it? I need to use a simple English. The normal water intake or fluid intake daily is supposed to be up to 3 liters. Okay, some say 2 liters, but normally we put things in ranges in medicine. So let's stick to 3 liters. Now she's a breastfeeding mother. Let's take 3 liters and above. So how does that breastfeeding mother calculate the 3 liters? We have all these things that we call pure water sachet. Sorry, we take that water in Nigeria here. Well, even if it's the bottled water, or even if it is your dispenser water, you have a gauge of what 500 mils is, and that's that pure water sachet. So for a breastfeeding woman, she should not take less than 3 liters a day. That means 3 liters in 24 hours. And let's assume that's 6 sachets of pure water. So that means at least you must take 3 during iftar and take 3 during zahur. And she can break it down. She wants to break the fast, she takes 1 water after taking her date palm, her dabino to break her fast, or any other food available, even though water is very good too. Again, when she finishes eating, she takes 1 more sachet of water. Then before she sleeps, she takes another one. Then along the line, she can also take 1 more, because 1.5 liters during Zahur might be too much. But when she has it at the back of her mind that I don't want to take less than 3 liters, 6 pure water sachet in a space of 24 hours, then she will gauge it. Then again, she can try and avoid places that are so sunny. Then even the attire she wears during the day, things like wearing black, will make the water, there's a way that the absorption of water gets worse with things like black, because you will sweat more, and that means you have what we call insensible water loss. So during the day, she should avoid sunny areas. She should wear light clothing. All those things will preserve her body fluid. And of course, the breastfeeding will not affect her too much. And of course, the baby will still have enough breast milk. That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Fatima. So, to round this up, the goal is, go ahead.
Okay. What I also advise is, for those of us that will be going for Tarawih, because I know that in Nigeria now we might be allowed to go for Tarawih, you can take your bottle of water along. So as we are doing this Taslim, you can take a sip of water. That also helps to, help you to know the amount of water you're taking, and you are able to take all the 3 liters in between.
Thank you so much, Hafsah. I was going to say that during Tarawih, I always have a bottle of water. I always have that bottle of water, because with us, our Tarawih is kind of long here in the part of the world. Sometimes it's about an hour Tarawih. So I have my bottle of water, and everybody should have your bottle. So you're just drinking in between that the Tarawih sessions. Jazakallah khair for that. So going over to the next question, we talked about staying hydrated, getting your water. You should have your bottle of water with you. The next question is, how can I lose weight during Ramadan? Ladies, this is the number 1 question we want. You know how in Ramadan it's iftar time, it's the spread. We have the Ogiana Karafes or the moi moi. After we eat like the fruit salad, and then here comes the main meal. It's everything from the eba, the amala, the f4. It's like the jollof rice, the erodi, the edge. There's so much options we have, and it's always a spread. It's like everybody goes big in Ramadan when it comes to your diet. So how can we as Muslim women help, if we're trying to lose weight or to maintain our weight? Because I've actually had a scholar tell me, if you gain weight in Ramadan, you need to check your Ramadan. That's how bad it is. You're not allowed to gain weight. You should be losing weight. So, ma'am, if you're gaining weight in Ramadan, man, we got to question your Ramadan. So to help us, sisters, if we've been gaining weight before, help us. How can we lose the weight during Ramadan? What can we do? And I'll have you go, Sister Hafsah. What's your take on this?
Okay, so what I tell people is, it's good for us. Ramadan is all about losing things. So it should actually be, a month of losing weight as well. So we shouldn't feast in Ramadan. So that's how it is. So and seriously now, the long hours of fasting actually helps us with using fat for energy. Because ideally, when we eat, we store up the glucose in the body, and that's what the body actually uses, in form of energy. But along the line, like I think 8 hours is a maximum of 8 hours. We lose that stored glucose in the body, and when this stored glucose gets depleted, that's when the body starts to use fats as energy. And during this time, we actually lose weight. But of course, because we are going to have iftar, so we are going to be replenishing. So we don't lose much of the body. We don't use much of the body fat, so that we don't start using muscle as well, because we don't need to lose muscle when we are fasting. So of course this helps. Then of course, when we mind what we eat, when we mind what we are eating, when you don't eat so much, you take, we even need light meals for iftar, so that we will be able to do our tarawih. So we should take light meals for iftar. Of course, we can take, when we come back, like Sister Bola said, the long hours of tarawih, we come back, we're a bit hungry. We can take a little snack, but not something very heavy, and it shouldn't be close to bedtime, so that we don't get disturbed with our sleep as much as possible. Thank you.
Sister Bola, thank you so much. Sister Bola, tell us, how do we, on this side of town, how can we lose that weight in Ramadan? I mean, we've gained so much weight even with this lockdown and everything. What is this? Should we be shooting for Ramadan to lose that weight? Help us here.
Alhamdulillah. Yes, with COVID, the lockdown, the average weight gain has been around 12 pounds with some people. So we're looking at an opportunity to detox and cleanse the body with Ramadan. So to lose the weight, and like you earlier said, if you have to gain weight, which most people, funny enough, do gain weight during Ramadan. And it's not necessarily, definitely overconsumption, but really the wrong choices of food and the inactivity, because people believe that they could not get any movement into their body. And we have, like over here, like you earlier said, I definitely pray with the Middle Easterners. They do have a lot of treats and sweet stuff as well, like we do, like the mustard, all that stuff, fried and heavy sugar stuff. So you want to really make sure that you do everything in moderation, and it's a mindful set of things. It's your mind. It's a mindset, the fact, and that's the brain trigger, where we feel like, oh, I'm going to fast. I'm not going to eat for 12, 16 hours. I need to heavily eat at Zuhr. I need to heavily eat at Iftar. Then you can pray Taraweeh, or you can stay up for anything. It should be the other way around, because if you're looking at, I'm spiritually connecting, I'm detoxing, I'm refreshing my body, because the body is taking a break. Allah has designed it so the body has time to stop doing all the functionality that it's doing. So we need to look at it as a break for our body. And that's when healing comes in. When you fast for a long period of time, the organs rejuvenate itself, it's cleansing itself, it's settling down. So it's a health conditioning of the organs and the whole body as a whole. So we need to be conscious, number one. Why are you fasting? Go back and really look at all the edits. Why are we fasting? It's to be spiritually connected. It is not the food, your hands to your mouth. It is the mind and your environment and your internal self to really connect and have a benefit, not just of losing weight, but of the spiritual connection that comes with it. The more you eat, the more your body has to work, and the less your spiritual connection. So really, I'm going to advise us all to really kind of start looking at it. And that's why I always say, let's look before Ramadan starts. It's a great time that we're doing this. This is a self-reflection of yourself. Really break down, what am I doing right now that I really want to change when it comes to my eating habits? And start practicing that gradually, so you're not putting a shock into your system when Ramadan starts. So if you're going to reduce the soda drinking, this is a time to do it. So when it's not like Ramadan, when you start and you start having trembling or headaches. So if you're drinking 1 or 2, you need to cut it to half. If you're drinking 2, you need to cut it to 1. If you're drinking 4, 5, 6, or you have to get up and drink 16 ounces of coffee, it's probably time to cut it down to 8 ounces for the next 3-4 days, and then 4, and then maybe gradually change it to 6. Because the whole body, our plates should be, like was earlier said, should be divided into thirds. And only 2/3 of your plate should be food, vegetables, and the meat. and the other half should be here, where you're using your water for digestion to occur properly. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for mentioning that, Sister Bola, because even the Prophet ﷺ told us when it comes to our eating habits that we should divide the stomach into 3 parts, right? One third should be for food, 1/3 should be for water, and 1/3 should be for air to be able to stay balanced. And also, you talking about the fact that Ramadan is a time for cleansing. I work in a cancer hospital, and people come and say, I want to fast, because they know fasting actually helps you with detoxifying the body. So this is a time to remove all those toxins from our body. Allah has blessed us with fasting. So we should start getting ready. We can start doing our Monday, Thursday fast, getting ready for Ramadan, just to make sure that we get to that weight loss. So Dr. Rabiu, I know pregnant women are not planning to lose weight, and breastfeeding women, maybe they're planning to lose weight, but maybe Ramadan is not the best time. What can we do to be able to make sure that we're still staying healthy? Because I know if that weight is going down the scale, your doctor can be raising eyebrows and like, oh, you can't do that. What can we do to make that balance for our pregnant and breastfeeding woman?
Okay, thank you, Shukroh. For the pregnant women, in fact, it's not advisable for them at all to ever think they can't even lose weight in pregnancy. If you are losing weight in pregnancy, in fact, you are at the risk of being admitted, because I'll be worried as your OBGYN, as your obstetrician. For the first 3 months, you might not gain much weight. The second 3 months, which is the second trimester, you are actually meant to grow more weight. And by your last 3 months, if I'm saying that you are not even gaining weight, then there's a problem somewhere, because you're losing weight will invariably affect your baby. There's what we call intrauterine growth restriction. Your baby will be small, and that will not be good for the general health of the baby. The average weight gain in pregnancy, some say is 10 kilograms, but it can be up to 12 kilograms. So we even have some women that are already obese before pregnancy. Obviously, even during pregnancy, they are even going to get fatter. Then we even have some set of women that even if their weight had been 50 kilograms during pregnancy, they won't, I mean, before pregnancy, they might not even get more than 5 kilograms throughout the pregnancy. So some of them will be saying, doctor, I'm not growing much weight. I want more flesh. So that thing is usually individualized too. But Ramadan is not a time for a pregnant man. In fact, pregnancy, you should not lose weight during pregnancy. You should have a normal weight gain during pregnancy. If you are losing weight, that is abnormal. Meanwhile, if you are gaining too much weight too, that one too is abnormal. Usually there are 2 extremes. So a pregnant woman is meant to stay within the normal range of not more than 12 kilograms increase in weight. And it's a no-no for a pregnant woman or a breastfeeding woman during Ramadan to say she wants to lose weight. So it's a no-no. Your weight will be normal, even though you have to watch it. Don't eat as if you're in a fattening house, or you're a broiler or a layer that wants to be sold. So you have to watch it as well. Eat your normal diet and be cautious of your food intake.
Thank you so much, Sister Fatima. So for our pregnant women, what you're saying is still keep the quality when it comes to your diet. Don't overdo it. Don't overeat. But make sure you're maintaining the weight. And if you're losing too much weight, please be talking to your doctor. Have somebody be checking you and hopefully make some changes. So let's go to exercise. One of my favorite things. I have this love and hate relationship with exercise. But you know how it is. Like, we're already, barely making it without Ramadan to exercise. And some of us will say, oh, it's Ramadan, I'm fasting, so why do I need to exercise now? We just put exercise becomes a back burner. So tell us, Sister Hafsah, how can we keep staying healthy, staying fit, keep up the exercise? And if you're already exercising, what changes do we need to make? What modifications do we need to make to keep, staying fit, staying healthy during Ramadan?
Okay, thank you very much, Sister Bola. So, for Ramadan, if you are a gym rat, someone that is used to exercising before now, there is nothing that stops you from exercising. And I tell people, everybody needs to exercise. It's not about I need to lose weight. It's not about I'm obese. It's not about I'm hypertensive or whatever. Everyone needs to exercise. Exercise is medicine. So for Ramadan, it's not about not exercising, but it's about what are you doing? What do you need to do? How long do you need to exercise? What exercises can you do? So the best exercise I always advise people to do in Ramadan is taking walks. And these are advised early in the morning. After Subuhi, you've done your atkar, you can take a walk or any other form of indoor exercises you want to do. You can do that. And also in the evenings, maybe like 30 minutes before iftar, you can also have your exercise at that time. You shouldn't be exercising in the afternoon of Ramadan. You can also swim. You can swim. You can have low intensity exercises, no high intensity exercise during Ramadan. And of course, no exercise during the afternoon of Ramadan. Because you're not going to taking anything when you exercise. So if you exercise and you're dehydrated, you won't be able to rehydrate in Ramadan. So you need to exercise early in the morning after your prayers, and of course in the evenings, and watch the timing of your exercise. Don't exercise for 1 hour in Ramadan. No, nobody should do that. And of course, for someone that is not used to exercising before now, Ramadan is not the time to start saying, Coach Hafsah, please, I need an exercise plan. I want no. You wait till after Ramadan before you start your exercise, for someone that has not been exercising at all before Ramadan. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sister Hafsah. Sister Bola, what can we do to help with exercising and keeping up with our exercises during Ramadan?
First, exercise is an energizer. So you need to know that for those of you that are not currently exercising, maybe that's why you're tired all the time. Now, during Ramadan, what I've done, if you're, like what earlier said, if you're a morning exercise person, I may advise that you change it, because you need that energy. If you, for those of us that are 16 hours fasting, you're going to need that energy and the calorie to probably go through the day if you're not eating heavily. If you're in Nigeria and you're one of those that eats pounded yam for zuri or eba or amala, it is okay then to go exercise, because you need to burn that out. But for those light eaters, really shift your exercise to 30, 45 minutes before iftar. Or you can do some like 10, 15 minutes before you pray Taraweeh after, if you want to break that down. That's what I've done, and that's what I use with our women at Masjid. We do a group walking around the mosque. We have a big area where we can do that. And if you have a gym, most of the masjid are getting more creative and doing that with the exercise. You can have it fit well in the masjid as well if you have the space for it. But it should be low intensity exercise, because if you're not exercising before, and this is when you want to do your 1 hour, 45 minutes, or even 30 minutes, you're going to break down. So definitely be conscious of your health as well. If you're not in good health or you have the arthritis, actually exercise is good for arthritis and things like swimming. Definitely, it's a good thing. So this may be time for you to do the water aerobics or water exercise. Even in Nigeria, we have some places have swimming pools. So this may be the time to incorporate that. And what that does is relax your muscle. It really kind of calms you down and really help control. Your diabetes will be controlled. Your high blood pressure will be controlled. It's good for cancer patient as well, because you are in tune with yourself and you're trying again to clear your mind and not just your body. It also will help you maintain your muscle mass if you continue to exercise. So you want
so much
opportunity for those things.
Thank you so much, Sister Bola. I think I have a caller on the line. Can we get the caller in that has a question for us? Go ahead if you have the caller. Do you have a question? Okay, there was a question in the chat where somebody was asking Sister Hafsah, can you give us a meal table to adapt during Ramadan? Is there resources that you can provide to our women on the meal table to adapt during Ramadan? If you have that, Sister Hafsah.
Yes.
Somebody asked us to that.
Yeah, we have that.
So let us know how we can pass that to the best. Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, thank
Go
you
ahead
very
and
much.
ask your question.
I'm calling from Lagos. My question is this. I always thought one can lose weight in Ramadan. But in most cases, I seem to add more weight even in Ramadan. Can I tailor my fitness time towards Ramadan, or is it just a nightmare or a mirage? Thank you.
Sister Hafsah and Sister Bola, did you hear that question? The caller was asking that she's always tried to tie her fitness to Ramadan, but she finds herself gaining weight instead of losing weight to Ramadan. What can she do? I know we just answered the question about how do we stay fit, how do we exercise. There's a lot of components that go through losing weight and starting to lose weight. And sometimes it's not easy to just put a blanket and say this works. It doesn't work for everybody. Sometimes because of the hormonal changes that happen even when you open during Ramadan, you're changing schedule, because sometimes if you're always being like a late night sleeper early, you have to change your schedule. If you're not sleeping enough, because a lot of times in Ramadan we do not sleep as much as we sleep, that can also affect you gaining or losing weight. So those are the things you need to think about. However, Ramadan is always a good point to start making those changes. So when you start making those changes in Ramadan, because now you don't have that shaitan and the shayateens are tied up. So now you know that whatever you can do starting your fitness, if you can't do it in Ramadan, then that's on you. And hopefully have somebody that can expert that you can always say, this is what I'm doing. There are a lot of fitness, like Sister Hafsah, this is what she do in Nigeria. You can, call her, let her know this is what I'm doing. What can I do? Do I need to do some blood work? Do I need to have somebody check on me? Do I have somebody look at my daily diet? Because sometimes we might think that we're doing it right when we're trying to lose weight and exercising, but we might not doing the right meals. We might be cheating. What the meals that we're using to lose weight might not be the right one that's benefiting us. So there's all so many components to it. Sister Hafsah and Sister Badi, if you have something to talk to that to help our caller with the weight loss, that'd be awesome.
I want to recommend to the caller, since you already know that you're having that, Sister Hafsah is in Nigeria, US, and I think it's probably best to walk with her. If you want to walk with me, that's fine. Or however you can get the meal plan to us. I would recommend for the next 7 days, you write down every single thing you consume. Every single thing you consume. And this will be a meal plan somebody can go over with you and help you strategize for your intervention during Ramadan. Because if you already notice that you're gaining weight, there's definitely something wrong somewhere. And not staying hydrated enough is another way. Like she said, not sleeping is another way. Are you taking any medication? Is there any other medical condition going on? Is there a thyroid issue that needs to be checked? She said, and this is a time I also recommend to most everybody that has not done a physical. And I know in Nigeria, you're all bad about that. You do not know the medical history. This is the time to have a medical, let's call it spade a spade. Even in America, we have the problem.
You're very correct.
People don't know their medical history, and they expect the doctor to perform miracle, or they come to me and think I'm a miracle worker. No, you need to know where you are health-wise. It is recommended even before you start fasting to do that. So this is a time for your checkup. One of the purpose of this panel is to really call you to your self-awareness of health. Don't be surprised. Go get a medical checkup. Maybe go to General Hospital or somewhere where they can do it. And I'm challenging all the masjid or those of us that are in places, especially in Nigeria, where you need to be having free health screening for your
Ramadan. Especially when everybody is coming to the masjid in Ramadan, is a good way to start having those health screenings. It's a good way to
start. This is what I've done at our masjid. We have free screening. We are in partner with a lot of the medical schools and teaching hospitals here in my state. And we've done it, and it's been very successful. It's one of the very first one in the Muslim community. you can be empowered to do the same as well.
Thank you so much. Quick question that I have to go to Dr. Fatima. Can you let us know about exercising in Ramadan for fasting Muslims that are pregnant and breastfeeding?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you, Sister Fatima. Go ahead.
I'm supposed to answer Zenat's question. Is it safe to...
No, I wanted to ask about, we're going to go to that question next, but I wanted to ask about exercising with fasting, pregnant, and breastfeeding mothers.
Okay.
Is it safe?
Yeah, thank you. Exercising during pregnancy. Funny enough, we actually recommend a lot of exercise during pregnancy. It has to be certain exercises. It's not just the woman saying, oh, I want to exercise, and she wants to start doing 100 press-ups. In fact, there are some things a pregnant woman does before pregnancy that when she's pregnant, she's not able to do. You understand? So usually, there are certain exercises that we recommend as obstetrician to the pregnant women. And the goal of those exercises is this. You want all our ligaments, all our tendons, you want them relaxed before the delivery, before delivery time, okay? Before she starts screaming in the ward and she's screaming all her heads out, I'm in pain, I'm in pain. So we actually tell them that some exercises, you have staircase, you can climb gradually. If your husband is around and you want to do the other room activities, is actually allowed. It's a form of exercise, whether they like it or not. Unfortunately, you find out that a lot of women, when they are pregnant, they actually run away from their husband. So even bedroom activities, your kitchen activities. Now, I'm not saying you should start pounding them every day. There are some people. All those minimal exercises that will give us your tendons, your ligaments relaxing, even before when you reach the 8 weeks, when you are likely to fall into labor, it is very, very advisable.
Okay, thank you so much.
So
there's another question I have, because we're running out of time, Dr. Rabiu, so I need us to go to the next question. So sorry. The next question about managing chronic illness during Ramadan with one of my callers that she has migraine headaches and also managing hypertension, diabetes, and also during Ramadan. How are we able to do that? Wa alaikum salam.
My name is Shukroh. I'm in my late 50s.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm almost 57 now. And if I take the Ramadan, if I observe the Ramadan, I used to be tired. The way I'm taking it before, like 30s, it is not like that now. What do you think I can do?
Yeah, thank you so much from calling and letting us know. At 57, yes, definitely your energy level is going to have changed than when you were in 20s and 30s. So like Sister Hafsah and Sister Bola talked about earlier, your choice of what you eat is also very important, and how are you staying hydrated. So watching what carbs are you eating. At 57, I always say when you hit 40, that's it. That's the age where you can't cheat no more. So at 57, you should even not be eating any simple carbs anymore. All your carbs should be complex. So if you're eating rice, you should not eat white rice anymore, period, when you get to 40. No excuses, even if you have nothing going on. This is the time you need to make just changes to your diet. Eating your complex carbs in the morning. So if it's oatmeal, you can eat for your sahur in the morning. If it's your oatmeal with dates, because dates is the fiber that is sweet, but it holds up. Making sure you're staying hydrated. Kind of pacing yourself throughout the day. If you're used to like doing almost all this cooking, you might need to pace, ask for help. Make sure you're conserving your energy, because as we go older, our energy is not as we are when we're 50. So kind of watching what you're doing and kind of pacing yourself is very important. So somebody's asking, is it safe to fast with high blood pressure and migraine? Can you please answer the questions?
Yes.
So Hafsah, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, Sister Bola, go ahead.
Yes, it is very safe to do that. But first, again, remember I said check with your practitioner is always what I always say, because I do not know your medical history. So I always say that. Are you on medication for the migraine? Have you checked to make sure you're not eating something that's aggravating that migraine headache? In Nigeria, if you have blood pressure, you need to cut off the Maggi for once. You need to cut off the Ajinomotos. You need to make sure you're gravitating towards more of the natural herbs and spices to cook your food. Yeah, and the lady in her 50s, this applies to you as well, because some of these things may have been showing up. I do nutrition and aging. Once you, like was earlier said, once you're over 40, if the caller asking the question on migraines and headache is still under 40, then it's important that you say, and if you're taking a medication, most of it you put under your tongue. I'm sorry. I think I don't know where I got muted. I just saw that I was muted.
You're good. You're good now. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Again, like I said, you need to check with your practitioner. I'm not going to stress that, and really kind of look at what you're eating. We advise, if you're listening to us, we're not going to be able to get to everybody's question, but the way that you need to answer your question, your own question, is to sit down, even if it's 48 hours, and write every single thing you put in your mouth and how it affects you. So that is what we do as dietitian or nutritionists or wellness coaches or nutrition wellness coaches or any of those in the exercise. We need to know what you're consuming. And I'm sure with that migraine headache, also if you're drinking a lot of high carbonated, high caffeinated drinks, it may be part of the reason why the migraine is there. So I always try to eliminate those things that might be triggered for your migraine. Your blood pressure, once you change those things, your blood pressure will normalize, and also you need to be exercising. Not normalize that you won't need to take your medication, but you definitely still need to consult with that, with your doctor. But once you reduce the Maggi or take it out absolutely off your plate of cooking, use onions, ewe alubosa, ayu, all those things we have naturally in Nigeria to cook your meals. And they're rich in their nutrients. They help balance your blood pressure. Garlic, sorry, for those non-Yoruba speakers. But really get into the nitty-gritty. You need to start really focusing on what you put in your mouth. It is your temple. It is the masjid. It is your Quran. That is your body.
Thank you so much, Sister Bola. So if I'm going to summarize that, if you have any chronic illness, you still should be fasting. Talk to your doctor. If you need to make changes to those medication, change it to your timing of your medication. This is the time you need to be having those changes. For my pregnant women who are having high blood pressure and diabetes or having migraine, Dr. Rabiu, does this also apply to them? Quickly, for 1 minute, we're almost running out of time. I'm so sorry. Dr. Rabiu, can you help me?
Okay, for people, pregnant women on their diabetic drugs, on their hypertensive drugs, usually some of these drugs, we have certain way it has been dosaged. Some are taken twice a day, some are taken 3 times a day. So when a pregnant woman wants to fast, she needs to liaise with her obstetrician so that if she's going to break her fast, she'll take a drug at that particular time. And when she's going to take Azaru, she'll take a drug at that particular time. So our obstetrician, our doctor will adjust the drugs to suit the dosage they want her to take daily. For instance, if what she's supposed to take of a particular drug is 1,000 milligrams daily, and before she takes it, 1 in the morning, 1 in the night, they can actually adjust it to her to be like 1 during iftar, then 1 during Daur time. Even though at times the number of hours will differ, but the doctor would have taken that into consideration for them to cater for the maximum dosage, the minimum dosage. So she won't just do it on her own and say, oh, I've been taking it twice daily, or you just take it twice. She needs to talk to the obstetrician and now say, okay, take this, take 1 tablet in the night, take 2 tablets in the evening. And
thank you so much, Dr. Rabiu. We have 1 minute to go. Thank you. I appreciate it. So the goal is making sure we're talking to our providers. If you have chronic illness, making those changes. It's still possible for you to fast. You might need to make some changes to your medication and the timing of your medication. Making sure you're talking to your healthcare provider to make those changes way before Ramadan starts. Thank you so much for that. Sister Hafsah, do you have anything else to let us? We have 1 minute to go.
Yes. Yes. I want to tell the first caller. I need to tell the first caller that called in earlier that just like Sister Bola said, you need a journal and you can get one. Let her contact us. I mean, contact me as well. I wanted to say, let her contact me. She can use bit.ly/slimfityou or go to our social media pages. Instagram is at slimfityou. Facebook is at slimfityou. Let her send me a DM. I can get her a food journal where she can be recording everything she's taking for this for the next 1 week. And also on our website there is a meal plan. There is a Ramadan meal plan. Just go to slimfityou.com. You will get our Ramadan meal plan. There is there. Then for the diabetic and hypertensive patients, they need to monitor their blood pressure and their blood sugar. It's very, very important. Self-monitoring is very important. So you need to measure that and have a journal where it is recorded so that if you are visiting your doctor, you have the values for like a week. You can do that and let your doctor look at it, and so that will guide the adjustment of the dosage of your medications. Because sometimes it might not just be that you need to take one in the for iftar or one for sahur. It might have to be that you need to take 2 doses at sahur, then a dose at iftar. That's for a 1,000 milligram drug. It doesn't have to be 500 and 500. It can actually be 750 and 250, depending on your readings. That's what we guide your doctor.
Thank you so much, Sister Hafsah. So, Sister Bola, anything to round up this session for us before we go?
Again, self-care, self-love, self-appreciation is the key to Ramadan, healthy you. So you need to make sure that you come first. We women, when you cook healthy, feed the same to your family. We fast together. Let's be healthy together. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, Sister Bola. Go ahead, Dr. Fatima. What's the last word before we check out for our pregnant and breastfeeding and everybody else?
Let us prepare for Ramadan. And as we are doing that, let us stay safe and keep safe. And let's optimize ourselves at all times.
Jazakallah khair.
All the best.
Sister Hafsah, thank you so much. Sister Hafsah, overhead.
So what I said earlier is very, very important. Self-control, self-discipline, and self-restraint. And of course, Sister Bola said self-awareness. That comes first. Then once you have all these 4, then you're good to go with a healthy lifestyle, even after Ramadan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot from my sisters, from my experts, to know that I need to stay healthy. Hopefully, get focused on my diet, be very cognizant with what I'm feeding myself. Like Sister Bola said, my body is my temple. My input is going to be my output. So if I'm giving myself good stuff, I'm going to be able to bring out good stuff in Ramadan. This is the time for us to be our best self, both spiritually and physically, and may Allah make it easy for us. I hope you've all enjoyed this session with the healthy Muslims, and hopefully this Ramadan is going to be a beginning of us becoming healthier and losing all those COVID fast, starting a new, even if you don't lose the weight, start a new journey of staying healthy by exercising, eating right, and being our best self, inshallah. It's a pleasure being with this panel with all of you. Thank you so much, inshallah. I appreciate you all, and hopefully we can connect again and have another of this.
Inshallah. Assalamu
alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khairan.
Bye.